Imagine like a doctor looking at your DNA and they miss this microscopic typo that's basically going to dictate the rest of your life.
Right, which happens.
Yeah, and it's not even their fault, right? I mean, human biology just isn't built to process that volume of information.
No, not at all.
But now imagine a machine finding that exact same typo in like 3 seconds and then cross-referencing it against the entire global population.
And rewriting the standard of care before you even, leave the clinic.
Exactly. It's mind-blowing. So today we are looking at this huge stack of sources dated June 28, 2026, and we are going straight into the deep end.
We really are.
Whether you are prepping for a crucial strategy meeting or trying to make sense of this shifting tech landscape, or, you're just insanely curious about where the world is actually heading, you are in the exact right place.
Yep, absolutely.
Our mission today is to just cut through all the noise and give you the aha moments you need. We're looking at how AI has completely graduated from being just a tech buzzword to, well, acting as this active structural catalyst for change across three main things: our bodies, our planet, and our livelihoods.
Right. It's everywhere now.
It really is. Okay, let's unpack this. Where do we even begin to wrap our heads around the sheer architectural shift happening in these sources?
Well, I think we have to begin by discarding the old definition of data processing entirely.
Okay, throw it out.
Yeah, just toss it. Because to understand what is happening across these June 2026 sources, we really need to establish a new framework for AI's current capabilities.
Right.
Because, humans have been collecting data for centuries, but we are so limited by our biology. We look at a spreadsheet or we look at a patient's chart and we try to find a linear trend.
Like a straight line from A to B.
Exactly. But what these sources show is that AI is no longer just reading data faster than us. It's ingesting these vast, totally unstructured data sets and mapping them into high-dimensional vector spaces.
Wait, high-dimensional vector spaces?
Yeah, it's finding topological correlations, like relationships between variables in hundreds of dimensions that a human brain literally cannot visualize.
Wow.
But it's not just speed. It's a fundamentally alien way of approaching problem solving.
Okay, let's test that framework right away on the first topic in our Sack Our Bodies.
Let's do it.
Because we are looking at a major breakthrough in healthcare. Researchers at a leading university have developed this AI system to diagnose rare diseases, and the numbers they are reporting are just staggering.
They really are.
I mean, they were talking about reducing diagnosis times from literal years of a patient suffering.
And just bouncing between specialists.
Right, bouncing from doctor to doctor down to mere weeks.
It is a remarkable leap, but the mechanism is what matters here.
Okay, tell me about the mechanism.
Well, rare diseases are incredibly difficult to diagnose because the anomalies are hidden so deep within a person's genetic makeup. Like, a human specialist might see one case of a specific rare disease in their entire career.
Right, they just don't have the exposure.
Exactly. So when they look at a genome, they are looking for known markers. But this AI system isn't just looking for what it already knows.
What's it doing then?
It is tokenizing DNA sequences and analyzing these vast, dense data sets of genetic information from all over the world simultaneously.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it is plotting billions of genetic variations to find those multidimensional correlations we just talked about.
I was actually trying to visualize this while reading the source material. Like, in the past, I would have described the traditional diagnostic process as a human doctor trying to find a single microscopic typo hidden somewhere inside a stack of encyclopedias.
That reaches all the way to the ceiling, right?
Yeah, exactly. But with what you're saying about vector spaces, this AI isn't just a faster reader. It's not just finding the typo in the encyclopedia.
No, it's doing much more.
It is recognizing that whenever there's a specific typo on page 4, there is usually like a corresponding grammatical error on page 400.
Yeah.
And once it learns that, it instantly rewrites its own search algorithm to check page 400 for every subsequent patient. It actively learns from every single anomaly it processes.
Exactly. It isn't just a search engine. It is a dynamic, self-updating diagnostic architecture.
A diagnostic architecture. I like that.
It remembers the contextual weight of that typo and uses that newly synthesized knowledge to find the next anomaly faster.
So what does this all mean for us as individuals?
Well,
Because, I mean, reading about these vast data sets of genetic information immediately sets off alarm bells in my head.
sure, yeah.
Privacy.
The source explicitly mentions that this raises serious questions about data privacy and the ethical implications of AI-driven healthcare.
It does, very clearly.
If this machine requires access to millions of people's fundamental biological blueprints to learn continuously to be this, dynamic self-updating architecture, How do we grapple with the privacy nightmare? It's a huge hurdle.
Because we aren't talking about targeted ads based on our shopping habits here. This is the core code of who we are.
I hear your privacy concern, I really do. But let's be intellectually honest about the modern trade-off.
Okay, what's the trade-off?
People already trade their precise geolocation data, their private messages, and their daily habits every single day just to use a free Maps app or, like, get a discount on coffee.
Right. Guilty.
Exactly. The medical community is arguing that trading anonymous genetic data to cure a terminal illness or shave years off a painful diagnostic process is a much, much easier bargain. Yes, the questions of who secures the data and how we prevent misuse by, say, insurance companies are massive logistical hurdles. But we cannot let the privacy argument obscure the actual medical paradigm shift happening here.
Which is what exactly? Wait, are you saying the ends justify the means?
I'm saying the ends fundamentally change the nature of medicine. What's fascinating here is the continuous learning capability. Historically, medicine has been reactive, right? And heavily reliant on a one-size-fits-all model.
Right, you get sick, you go in.
You exhibit symptoms, the doctor prescribes a standard treatment that works for the average person, and we just, hope your biology matches the average.
And if it doesn't, you're out of luck.
Exactly. But because this AI adapts its diagnostic algorithms with every new piece of genetic data, it is actively shifting healthcare toward truly personalized medicine.
Oh, I see.
It means treatments can be tailored specifically to the unique genetic makeup, protein synthesis, and metabolic rate of the individual patient.
Wow.
It changes healthcare from a reactive statistical guessing game into a proactive, highly personalized precision science.
Okay, that is a compelling counter-argument. If the choice is between absolute genetic privacy and proactive medical miracles that actually work for my specific body,
People will choose the miracles.
well, yeah, society is probably going to sprint toward the miracles.
Yeah.
Now, I want to pivot here because I want to ditch the usual way we categorize these topics.
Okay, where are we going?
Well, the architectural breakthrough that allows that healthcare AI to map a human genome is spatial pattern recognition, right?
Yes.
It's the ability to ingest billions of data points, find the correlations, and update its model. So what happens when you take that exact same pattern recognition computing architecture, and instead of pointing it down into a microscope at our DNA, you point it outward at the macro level of the entire Earth?
That takes us directly into the second major development in our sources.
The environment stuff.
Yes. According to the Daily Digest, a consortium of tech companies has launched a massive initiative using AI to analyze satellite imagery.
Right.
The stated goal is to predict environmental changes and actively monitor deforestation.
Which is huge.
And they're using the exact same underlying mechanism, deep learning models, finding hidden correlations in impossibly large data sets.
The sheer scale of the data here is mind-blowing. The report states that these AI models are processing terabytes of data daily to identify areas at risk.
Yes, terabytes.
Terabytes every single day. Pulling down imagery from orbit and scanning for threats. But they aren't just looking at standard photographs, are they?
No, and that is a crucial distinction. If we connect this to the bigger picture, we can see how the scale and type of data processing is shifting our capabilities entirely.
What kind of data are they looking at?
They are using multispectral imaging and synthetic aperture radar, or SAR.
The SAR, okay.
The AI isn't just looking at visual light. It is analyzing moisture levels in the soil, canopy density, and thermal signatures.
Oh, wow. So it's seeing things we couldn't even see with the naked eye.
Exactly. Processing terabytes of this specific type of data daily allows conservation efforts to fundamentally change their timeline.
How so?
Well, in the past, environmental monitoring was basically a post-mortem.
Right, like finding a body?
Yes. A forest is illegally cleared, a researcher looks at the satellite photos a month later, and we record loss. It is historical record-keeping.
Which is depressing.
Very. But with AI processing multispectral data in real time, we are moving to a predictive policy phase.
Predictive.
Yes. The AI can look at the construction of a new dirt road, correlate it with subtle changes in canopy density miles away, and predict exactly where illegal logging is going to happen next week.
Okay, I hear the mechanism and I understand the technological leap from, historical record keeping to real-time predictive alerts. But I have to push back on the practical, on-the-ground reality of this.
Go for it.
Because it is incredibly impressive that an AI in a server farm somewhere can process radar data to predict a threat to a forest. But how does identifying a risk actually stop a bulldozer?
That's the million-dollar question.
Right. The AI doesn't have hands. It can ping a local policymaker's phone with a red alert all day long, but there is a massive, incredibly complex gap between an AI providing real-time data and a local government actually sending physical enforcement into a remote jungle.
Absolutely.
We are talking about corruption, lack of funding, political willpower. Does the technology actually solve the physical problem?
You're right. The technology cannot administer the cure, just like the medical AI cannot force a patient to actually take their customized medication.
Exactly.
The AI is a diagnostic tool, but I think you are underestimating how much political cover ignorance provides.
Ignorance, what do you mean?
The friction you're talking about, the corruption, the lack of willpower, it thrives in the dark. It relies on the excuse of, well, we simply didn't know this forest was being illegally logged until it was too late. The jungle is just too vast to monitor.
I see.
What this AI consortium is doing is systematically stripping away the excuse of ignorance.
Oh, that's interesting.
It provides undeniable, mathematically proven, highly publicized predictive proof. Policymakers can no longer claim they didn't know.
They can't hide behind the data lag anymore.
Precisely. The gap to physical intervention is still a human responsibility, yes, but the AI is forcing a level of global accountability that has never existed before.
Wow. Systematically stripping away the excuse of ignorance. I want you, the listener, to just pause and imagine this for a second.
It's powerful.
Imagine the sheer computing power required to essentially watch the entire globe all at once across multiple spectrums of light and radar every single day.
Unimaginable, really, for a human.
Right. We are talking about taking the most advanced, intangible digital architecture ever created and connecting it directly to the physical reality of the trees outside, the air you breathe, and the physical environment you live in.
It is a profound convergence. And whether we are talking about AI revolutionizing how we map the microscopic vectors of our internal biology,
Right. The rare disease.
or how we monitor the multispectral reality of our external Earth, what we are really seeing is that AI is drastically changing what humans are capable of achieving.
Changing the baseline.
Yes, we can now diagnose the undiagnosable, we can monitor the unmonitorable.
Which means the through line naturally extends to the final topic in our stack of sources.
Yes, it does.
Because if AI is fundamentally changing what we can achieve, it is inevitably going to change how we spend our days doing it.
We are talking about the human scale now, our livelihoods, our economy, and the workforce.
Precisely. The report details how AI is actively reshaping the workforce landscape.
It's moving fast.
Very fast. It specifically highlights its role in enhancing productivity and efficiency across diverse industries, like manufacturing and high-level finance.
Yeah.
Companies are rapidly adopting AI-powered tools not just to assist, but to fully automate routine and process-driven tasks.
Here's where it gets really interesting to me.
Oh, yeah. The end of the routine. We all know those parts of the job. The endless data sorting in a finance spreadsheet, the repetitive compliance checks.
The soul-crushing stuff.
Yes, the stuff that makes you feel like you are just a cog in a machine. While the source notes that automating these tasks is supposed to allow employees to focus on more complex, strategic, and creative challenges.
That's the promise, anyway.
Right. And I want to propose a specific way to visualize this based on the report's call for a balanced approach. The ideal version of this technology isn't an AI showing up and stealing your desk.
No, hopefully not.
It is more like AI acting as an exoskeleton for the brain.
An exoskeleton for the brain.
Right. Just like a physical exoskeleton enhances a warehouse worker's physical strength so they can, lift a 200-pound object without straining their back.
Sure.
This AI software acts as a cognitive exoskeleton. It takes on the heavy, repetitive, computational lifting of data sorting and routine execution.
Okay, I follow you.
It enhances human capability rather than replacing the human entirely. It frees up the human mind to do what it actually does best: strategize, empathize, and solve highly complex, nuanced problems.
It is a highly appealing analogy, I'll give you that.
But, I hear a but.
But I have to challenge the underlying economic assumption there.
Okay, bring it on.
This raises an important question, and it is a structural tension that the source material specifically highlights regarding job displacement.
Right, the dark side of automation.
Your exoskeleton analogy assumes that the corporation actually wants to buy you an expensive suit to make you stronger.
Fair point.
But let's look at the harsh economic reality. If a financial firm realizes that an AI can do the routine data entry and compliance checks of 5 entry-level clerks in 3 seconds.
They aren't going to keep all 5.
Exactly. They're not going to elevate all 5 of those clerks to high-level strategic roles. They don't need 5 new strategists.
Right.
They're going to keep one clerk to oversee the AI, and they are going to eliminate the other 4 positions entirely.
Ouch. Yeah, when you put it like that, the exoskeleton sounds a lot more like a steamroller for entry-level jobs.
It is a very real threat, which is exactly why the report places such a heavy, almost desperate emphasis on the critical necessity for retraining programs.
Which we desperately need.
We do.
Yeah.
But even retraining doesn't solve the second-order effects. Think about the architecture of a career.
What do you mean?
If the AI is doing all the routine, entry-level grunt work, how does a junior employee ever learn the business?
Oh, wow. I hadn't thought of that.
The traditional apprenticeship model is based on juniors doing the boring work to absorb the context of the industry so they can eventually become seniors.
Right. You pay your dues, you learn the ropes.
If we hand the routine tasks to the machine, we risk destroying the training ground for the next generation of middle management.
That's a structural collapse.
It is. The balanced approach the report advocates for, where AI complements rather than replaces, is incredibly difficult to engineer in a free market.
Yeah, because it goes against the profit incentive.
Exactly. It requires deliberate, massive investment from corporations to figure out how humans and AI actually work together in a true human-in-the-loop system.
So it's not just about surviving the initial wave of automation, it's about fundamentally redesigning how human beings accrue professional value.
Yes.
I want to ask you, the listener, to do a quick mental exercise right now. Audit your own 9-to-5 job.
It's good exercise.
Think about what you did yesterday. Which parts of your day were highly routine, process-driven, and repetitive?
And be honest with yourself.
Yeah, really honest. And which parts actually required complex creativity, human empathy, or, navigating nuanced office politics? Because according to this June 2026 report, those routine parts are not just going to be handed off to the machine. The architecture is already being built to do it today.
And understanding that distinction, knowing exactly where your human value lies outside of routine data processing, is going to entirely define your survival in the modern workforce.
Okay, let's pull all of this together because we have covered a massive structural shift today.
We covered a lot of ground.
We didn't just look at isolated tech updates. We looked at how AI is an active catalyst operating on a shared mechanism across every single level of our existence.
Right.
We looked at the micro level, where AI is mapping the high-dimensional vector space of our genetic codes to cut rare disease diagnoses from years down to weeks, forcing a shift toward proactive, personalized medicine.
And we followed that exact same spatial pattern recognition to the macro level, where AI models are processing terabytes of multispectral satellite data daily.
Watching the whole Earth.
They are moving us from historical record-keeping to real-time predictive models, stripping away the political excuse of ignorance regarding deforestation.
And finally, we brought it right down to the human scale, looking at the harsh economic realities of AI automating our routine tasks.
The steamroller.
Yes, steamroller. We looked at the potential collapse of the traditional apprenticeship model and the urgent need to redesign how we integrate humans into this new cognitive loop.
And if there is an overarching insight to draw from all 3 of these domains, it is that the ultimate success of this technological leap relies entirely on the human element.
How so?
The AI models are unparalleled diagnostic tools. They are engines of staggering efficiency, but they are not agents.
Right, they don't have hands or willpower.
Exactly. We still need human beings to navigate the trade-offs of genetic privacy and medical intervention. We still need human policymakers to physically act on the environmental predictions the AI provides.
And we desperately need human leadership to design the workforce retraining.
And entirely new corporate structures that will keep our economy stable. The AI provides the diagnostic data. Humans must provide the contextual wisdom.
The AI provides the data. Humans must provide the wisdom. That is the perfect distillation of the challenge.
It really sums it up.
But it brings me to a final thought I want to leave you with today, something a bit more provocative to chew on that builds onto this idea of the shifting workforce.
Oh.
The report clearly states that AI is taking over routine tasks so humans can focus on complex and creative challenges.
Right. The exoskeleton promise.
Right. But let's look further down this road. As AI models continue to scale, they are already beginning to generate novel solutions, write code, and synthesize original ideas.
They are getting creative themselves.
Exactly. So if machines eventually handle all the routine execution and a significant portion of basic ideation in our society, will human creativity become the only skill with any real economic value?
Oh, wow.
And if that is true, how do we even begin to teach, measure, or hire for human creativity in an economy where the machine is already doing the heavy lifting?
That is the defining structural and philosophical challenge for the next generation of education and business. We really have to figure out what it means to be uniquely human when the machine can think.
It really is the ultimate question. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive. We hope we've given you some powerful aha moments today, helped you cut through the noise, and given you a clearer framework for the AI landscape. Keep asking the big questions about how these tools are architected, stay curious, and most importantly, stay informed. Catch you next time.